Everybody, good afternoon. We are right at 6:30. I know we still got some guys who are going to be joining us. We got about 15 right now, but we want to make the most of our time. As you guys said yesterday, we need more time. So we're going to jump right into it. We got another exciting day for you guys. I've got my best friend, Andrew Vassell, coming to us from Atlanta. He is going to be presenting tonight on collaboration. So by way of kicking us off this great evening, I'm actually going to share something with you guys. You should all be able to see my screen. And I am, as you look at the picture and ask yourself, why am I showing you a picture of balloons? I'm gonna just let you sit there for a minute and try to figure out why that is. Now, none of you are gonna figure it out, so I'm gonna just tell you. To introduce us to our topic of collaboration tonight, I wanna share a story. A wise teacher once brought balloons to school, told her pupils to blow them up and write their name on each one. After the children tossed their balloons into the hall, the teacher moved through the hall, mixing them all up. The kids were given 5 minutes to find the balloon with their name on it, but though they searched frantically, no one found their own balloon. Then the teacher told them to take the balloon closest to them and give it to the person whose name was on it. In less than 2 minutes, everyone was holding their own balloon. The teacher said to the children, "These balloons are like happiness. We won't find it when we're only searching for our own, but if we care about someone else's happiness, it will ultimately help us find our own." And so I share that story with you, the story of the balloons, to jumpstart us off tonight into collaboration. As I said, I've got my best friend, Andrew Vassell. We go back to middle school, and we're in the same fraternity, used to be roommates. A lot of people think we're twins and brothers. We are, but not technically we're not, but spiritually, and tonight we definitely are. And he's no stranger to AACUC. He's an Atlanta native and a Georgia State University alumnus, where he's received his bachelor's degree in finance. Andrew was actually part of the 2010 AACUC intern class, and to this day, 10 years later, he continues to stay connected to the organization. Andrew has crafted a non-traditional career path. He initially began his career as a financial analyst working for the Coca-Cola company and was eventually promoted to a finance manager. Andrew decided to step away from the corporate setting to pursue his entrepreneurial spirit, where Andrew founded Preparing Now for the Future. So if you wonder what his shirts are, I was part of that initial team. So we've got our P&F shirts, Preparing Now for the Future, which offers targeted programs and workshops pertaining to college and career planning, financial literacy, and professional development training for interns. Andrew's mission is to help teach adolescents the soft skills needed to transition into successful young adults. 18 months into this journey, he received news that he would become a father. Shout out to my nephew, Avery. Andrew then returned to the corporate environment, but pursued a different career path, taking on the role of compensation analyst for Aaron's Incorporated. He now works for the Home Depot as a senior compensation analyst. Andrew and his wife, Amber, also own a business together called Sweet Peas Play Entertainment and Activities. Sweet Peas is a soft play equipment rental company that offers mobile play areas for children under 4. And on a more personal note, Andrew is a man of God first, a husband and a father. He enjoys working out, traveling, spending time with family, and motivating and inspiring others. His mantra is to make sure that his presence makes an impact and adds value to those around him. So it's with a warm AACUC welcome that we're going to turn the mic over to Andrew. Just a couple of quick notes before you get started. Troy is going to be engaging our chat again. Thank you, Troy. So Andrew's going to actually be engaging you guys a lot. Be prepared, because tonight I'm going to be calling on you guys to talk to us a little bit about collaboration. That's the topic, so we got to collaborate, right? And as we do, Troy's going to be jumping those questions over in the chat. Let me encourage you to answer if we want to hear the answers, so we can read them out loud and have a record. So without further ado, Andrew, take it away.
I appreciate that, Wesley. Thank you for the introduction. I owe a thanks to Ms. Renee Sadie-White, as well as Chairman Johnson, for always just keeping me in mind when it comes to the AACUC. I appreciate the relationship that I have with everyone. So Wesley, that was a very good story that you shared with the balloons. I'm sure everybody was probably a little puzzled at first, like what do you have going on? But that story, I hope it resonated with everyone. But collaboration, as Wesley said, today's chat is going to be more collaborative, since that's the topic for today's discussion. And so the word, I just wanted to give a quick definition of the word collaboration. And that just, the word means the action of working with someone to produce or create something. And so if you think about it, you collaborate just about every day in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So whether it's at work, you're collaborating with your coworkers to get work done. If you have a spouse and children, you're going to collaborate with your spouse to make sure the kids are taken care of and fed and put to bed and all those kinds of things. So all day long, in some cases, you're collaborating, whether you realize it or not. And so I wanted to share a little bit more about my affiliation with the AACUC and how collaboration got me to this point today where I am presenting with you all. So I was affiliated back in 2018, 17, 18, I was affiliated with another organization called the National Association of Black Accountants, also it's NABA for short. And in that organization, they have several students who are affiliated or members of that organization. So colleges all across the US, they have NABA members. And since with my previous knowledge of the AACUC offering internships to college students, I was proactive, and I took the initiative to sit down with Ms. Renee and share with her this opportunity that I thought would be a good opportunity for the AACUC and NABA to collaborate, and in the capacity of helping college students to secure internships. And, Ms. Renee was just floored, like, wow, I can't believe that you took the time to proactively come to me and share this opportunity. And as a result of that, about 2 years ago, I was invited to the conference to speak to the young professionals about creating your career path and interviewing skills. And I had a great time just kind of talking about that, sharing on that. And as a result, last summer, Ms. Renee invited me to come back to the internship program. But in this time she wanted me to actually facilitate the internship program. So it was really cool to have been on the other side, at one point being an intern, and then fast forward a few years later, I'm actually facilitating the internship program. And again, I think that all kind of goes back to, my initiative to want to collaborate. And I think that when other people see that you're willing to help them, that they are more willing to want to help and collaborate with you. So the first question that I have for this evening, that I'm hoping we can get some good dialogue on, is in pertaining to the AACUC. So what ways do you currently collaborate with the AACUC, and what skills and talents do you have that could be an asset to the organization?
I'm gonna, since Mr. Byron Law, you already off mute, if you don't mind jumping on and answering that first question. Troy's he's typing it up in the chat if you need to see it again. Andrew, you wanna repeat it?
Absolutely. So the question is, what ways do you currently collaborate with the AACUC? And if you don't currently collaborate with the AACUC, what skills or talents do you have that you think could be an asset to the organization?
Oh, Byron, we can't hear you. You must not be connected to sound. I'm gonna, while you connect the sound, how about Mr. Gary Perez? You wanna jump on, unmute, and let us know your answer to that question, please, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm at the beach today, so if it doesn't come in so well, forgive me. But look, when I see the best thing about AACUC for me personally is their ear. They're willing to listen and then take action on that which you share with them. And yeah, there is nothing that is out of bounds. There is nothing that's too harebrained for their consideration. And it's in that spirit that we can discuss collaborative opportunities. And I feel so fortunate that you're having this session today, because it's something that so many of us have a passion for. So thank you.
Awesome. My main man, Cedric, if you can hear us, can you unmute and let us know how you collaborate with AACUC and what skills and talents do you have that can be an asset to the organization?
Okay, yes. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So I primarily collaborate mostly annually during the AACUC conference, volunteering a lot, both for the youth program, working, of course, with Renee and, of course, my buddy Marvin York a lot in regards to, bringing forth a lot of activities and just ensuring that PSU and myself and all others are engaged wholeheartedly with the mission with AACUC. I would say I'm looking to expand that collaboration by being an active member in the chapters, right? So I know we have a few chapters that we have now. I know West Coast chapter is growing. I started out with I think the Maryland, DC chapter. We have a Southern chapter. So we're encouraging myself and others to actually grow and grow the mission in the chapters too.
Awesome. Andrew, you want me to keep rolling, or you want to?
Let's try to see if we can get Byron on.
I don't think he's still not connected this time.
Okay, no,
but I got Dwayne Day, my boy Dwayne. He's on standby. Dwayne, you want to unmute and let us know what you think?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. For the most part, as it relates to AACUC and the things that I do really to support the organization, I can honestly say the last few years, I've been like a trusted advisor to our CEO, Renee Satterwhite. It's oftentimes she and I will discuss matters. She'll run things past me. I'll bounce things off of her. And I've really made it a point to be that support person for her outside of the leaders of the AACUC. In addition to that, I've worked with Sheila Montgomery on the mentoring committee, and now I'm co-chair of that committee. She no longer chairs it, of course. She's left that committee a while ago. But really for me, I've always been one, since I've been part of this organization, to try to make myself available to anyone who wants someone who's gone through the ranks and who has that experience of just working across the board at different levels with different people. Again, that's really what I try to do, is just be there as an outlet to help others grow and succeed.
Nice.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, everyone who shared. Believe it or not, that question was not prompted by the AACUC. I really was just curious, based on my experience with nonprofit organizations. I know how it is. I feel like you get the most out of your membership when you're actively engaged. And so I was just hoping that this conversation would kind of spark you to think about, if you aren't currently actively engaged with the AACUC, what ways could you perhaps, volunteer or get more engaged? All right, so I'll move on to my next question. On a more personal note, so the question is, think of one or two areas of your life where you could benefit from collaboration, but you're either too stubborn, prideful, or scared to ask for help. I'll give you a few examples. Losing weight, that's a big thing for a lot of us. We might want to drop some pounds or eat better, but you may need to collaborate with a trainer or a nutritionist. Another one might be you have financial goals to save for a house or to retire, but you haven't actually sat down with a financial advisor or a financial planner to help you collaborate to come up with that plan. So I just wanted to get you all's thoughts on, are there any areas of your life where you feel like, you know what, I probably need to collaborate with somebody to, help me along my journey?
So I'm gonna actually call on Mr. Adrian Johnson. He's one of the most transparent guys that I know, and it's always just humbling to hear his thoughts. So, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Chairman, what are your thoughts? I mean, where are the areas where you can benefit from collaboration?
And I like the last question better, man. Good evening, gentlemen. That was easier. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm good. How are you?
I mean, the first couple of things he said, collaborating on losing weight. My doctor tells me I need to lose 20 pounds. My wife tells me we're going to get there, but it's been tough. I'm about 5 years away from retirement. And of course, my degree is in accounting, and, I understand numbers and growing money and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't really sat down and realistically looked at my own. I know what's happening, I know what's coming, but I haven't really kind of documented everything the way it should be. So I need some help there. The other thing is, I think sometimes you just need collaboration about marriage, man. And we all men, so
Amen to that.
marriage is work, man. And so I'm on my second one. I didn't do too well on the first one. I'm trying to make up for the second one. But man, it's tough. And so just kind of give you a little story. My wife, I actually met my wife May of 1979. And I went to her prom in May of 1981. But we had not been in contact for 30 years. And nothing, no phone call, no see how you doing. And then all of a sudden, she popped up on Facebook one day. And of course, I was going through what I was going through with my first marriage. And so, we were separating also. The rest is history. But, we've been going through it for the last about 3 years now. She had she had emergency open heart surgery. And so last year she had 3 surgeries. And so just sometimes collaborating, getting some help to deal with all of that sometimes kind of, it would probably be helpful.
Thank you for sharing.
You want to get someone else, Drew?
Yeah, let's get one more.
All right, let me go with Mr. James G. If you can hear me and can unmute, we'd like to hear from you, please, sir. Nope, maybe not. What about Juan Taylor? If you can hear me, we'd love to hear your response.
Yes, I can hear you. I hope everybody is doing well. This has definitely been an exceptional time for me. The first time that I was introduced, and I really didn't know that the AACUC was out there. And I got that opportunity back when it was in Raleigh. And that was a beautiful thing, because I was able to come together with people in the industry and collaborate and build relationships and network. And I think that's real important, when you're able to build strong, lifelong relationships on different levels. Matter of fact, I had a conversation with a few people that I met, back then. So that's one of the things with me, as far as to collaborate and things that I can think about as far as improving. Men, we're out there, we're typically working, a lot of hours and trying to make things happen, trying to improve things, trying to fix things. And sometimes, some things go neglected, and so that's one of the things there that I think that, family is important to me. That's first and foremost. And so that's one of the things there, it's just, when you have that opportunity to be in this thing right here with this pandemic, it's big. And it has really opened up my eyes and said, Juan, well, look, you need to, some things that I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to. Now I'm paying a lot of attention to it because I was somewhat distracted. And so now my wife and I, my daughter, I'll tell you a little story. My daughter, she's she just started college, you know, and so she's out of the house now. So we're empty nesters right now. And so a lot of the conversations that my wife and I usually would have, you know, with my daughter and just being so involved in that, you know, we didn't have those conversations. So now it's just she and I, we're looking at eyeball to eyeball. And, you know, so we're having these conversations now. And so it's a beautiful thing. So we've not to say that we were disconnected, but our conversations are much deeper. And we have a whole lot of things to talk about that we sort of miss, you know, throughout our journey. And so I think that's, you know, that she's my real, you know, and so, you know, that's one of the things I think that the women, if you're married, the women's in our, you know, in our lives, I mean, it's very important that we keep that connection strong. But that's about it for me for right now.
Thank you for sharing, Juan.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And this is James G. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry that I didn't acknowledge you.
We can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to apologize.
Oh, no worries. No worries. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, no worries. I wanted to acknowledge and say thank you for the ask.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, Wesley, this is Marvin York. There's one thing I want to share and be remiss not to.
Okay.
With the gentleman. Health issues, most Black men don't share that with other Black men about health issues. Prostate cancer is one that kills if not checked. And I went through that. I'm a cancer survivor for prostate cancer. I had my prostate removed. But I tell you, when I talked to the older gentleman that had been there, had done it, I didn't know in my church how many people had gone through that because we just didn't talk about it. So we created a collaboration of men to talk about what you would go through, the decisions you would have to make. And it was very powerful. But I want to share that with the gentleman here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. I agree with you 100%, Marvin. You know, I feel like as men, we sometimes have a tendency to neglect our health or just, you know, act like it's, you know, it's going to fix itself. But that's what doctors are for. You know, we should collaborate with them to make sure we're taking care of ourselves so that we can extend our lifespan and just, you know, live healthy. All right, so my last question before I just kind of, you know, open it up for, I guess, dialogue or discussion is going to be a little bit deeper. So the question is, I guess, on a spiritual level, and I understand that everybody here probably won't have the same beliefs from a religious standpoint, but I identify as Christian. So whether we realize it or not, our gifts and talents are tied to other people. So my question is, how many of you have goals or aspirations that are bigger than you? Let's say you want to write a book to help people, you want to start a business that you know will help others, or even something like this. You know, we talked about a men's marriage counseling session or something like that. How many of us have tried to do it, but on our own merit, and we need to collaborate with God or a higher power to help us to accomplish our mission? Is there anyone that would be willing to share a mission that you have that you feel like, you know what, I probably need to, you know, collaborate with a higher power to make this come to fruition?
I won't call on anyone, but if anyone feels led to answer, go ahead and unmute and jump in.
This is Cedric Cherry. I know we have a couple Cedrics on here, but I'll share one, you know, with that note. So the one that I have is starting a generational college fund for youth for my family, right? So it's a pathway for youth, my family youth, not to have to worry about, you know, college preparedness or the financial aspect of it. And, you know, with, I don't know about your family, but it's hard to have people come off just a few dollars, you know, and to constantly contribute to this fund. So that spiritual question, I think I need calling from a higher power to get everybody to really make an effort, you know, to doing so. And knowing individuals in the family, I think sometimes it's not that they're not able to, it's more of a desire not to, right? So calling a higher power to touch those hearts so they can contribute and think more about family than themselves.
I'll just jump in there and say family is rough, man. Family is tough, the toughest customer sometimes.
Oh yeah, you can say that again.
So yeah, and so my current wife, her family, so she loves this family and she wants to do more for this family. But you know, it's one thing talking, it's another thing doing. And so what I always believe is you just have to, people love to be around successful people. People want to be like successful people. And so sometimes you just got to show them success. And I don't know if you saw the panel earlier with the Road to Financial Equity. They have some great suggestions on how you can make that happen. And not with a lot of folks either.
Anyone else would like to jump in?
Yeah, this is Gary Perez again. You know, I really think that we're at the most extraordinary point, at least in my 61 years, as it relates to finding a path and having that path funded by governmental institutions, for-profit institutions, nonprofit institutions to uplift the African American community. And I think we need that higher power to take advantage of this moment to push forward and to do some really extraordinary things. You know, be it what the first gentleman shared in creating college funds, whether it's you know, programs to help with those that are facing foreclosure, whether it's people that have been, I can just go on, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. And God knows we need God's help, you know, at this juncture. But with that help, I think we can do some terrific things in this age.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned that, Gary, but I think about last night or last, I guess 3 weeks, been watching Master P with the Chronicles. And last night on the episode, he had tore down his old neighborhood and built community housing for the community through HUD. And so, you know, that's what I would like to do. I'd like to do something big in a community to help folks home ownership, but also teach them how to manage money. And, you know, something like what Hope Credit Union was talking about yesterday. And certainly you need a higher power to make something like that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, Wesley, Larry here. And you know, sometimes you know, we say that how power, but you know, the Lord is already telling us. He's telling us, and He said it multiple times, and we're trying to rationalize it in our own little minute human minds, what He's already put on our hearts to do. And all we have to do is step out and do it, you know. And I say that for me, in listening to this, and I heard my man Marvin say, helping people to, whether it's family members or not, you know, help them go to college, and it be a generational thing. But what's been on my mind and heart, and it has to be the Lord who put it there, is that, hey, help, you know, establish your own college fund, and help adults, working adults who are wanting to enhance their profile and higher education, and establish your own college. It's not necessarily the amount, but do it. And you know, I'm feeling led to do that and start that through my church, and just start a 10-year fund to help adults, particularly working women, to help them. Well, it may be a college course or for 3. It may not be a year's worth of anything, but sometimes that's all people need, you know. So I think now I've been prompted to get off my rear end and go ahead and start that and do that. So I think that's what I need to do.
That's commendable, Larry.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Wes, I think we've hit our 7 o'clock time. Are we at, do we have the hard stop?
You know what? Tonight, we're going to make an exception. I feel like the engagement has been great. And I definitely want you to be able to cap the conversation off with any final thoughts or last remarks from your end. So no, please, Drew, give us any final remarks, last comments, anything we can take away, wrap this whole conversation about collaboration up for us, and maybe give us some pointers on what we should be thinking about going into the future.
Absolutely. I mean, I just think I'll go back to what I was saying towards the beginning of the conversation, which is I would just encourage everybody to look for opportunities to collaborate, especially in this season right now, you know, with the pandemic, or majority of us are working from home, and, you know, people are going through it, you know, like there's some people who during this time, they're actually okay. You know, if you're working in a corporate environment, you're still getting your steady income and everything like that. But then there's other people around you that may be laid off or furloughed or whatever the case may be. So I just encourage you to seek out those people and collaborate with them, whether it be financially, if you can, you know, contribute a few dollars, or if you just, hey, I just want to come by, how can I help? You know, just what can I do to help? Because at the end of the day, we're all we have, you know, is each other. And so, you know, it just takes the initiative of just letting somebody know, like, hey, I'm here to help you, or what can I do to help? You know, I'm here to assist. So that's my last, you know, thought on collaboration. And I also just wanted to give everyone else an opportunity to share any last thoughts or, you know, just ideas around the concept of collaboration.
I'll jump in and say, I said this before on earlier chats, but in terms of collaboration, you need to be writing folks' names down, jumping on LinkedIn, your social media, and connect with the guys on these chats. You know, shout out to Craig, and I've connected with Cedric and a couple others. Matter of fact, I think I might have sent an invitation to Gary earlier after I heard him speak, and definitely John, because I called on him. But, you know, to your point, Drew, we have to collaborate. And I think a lot of times we miss these opportunities right here where we've got guys who are having similar thoughts, and we don't take the time to reach out to them and email them. And so I say that to encourage you guys, and I'm going to say it tomorrow too. Take the time, even if it's just one person. You've got so many powerful men on this call we can help each other, as Drew talked about. So let me encourage you guys, don't let the opportunity pass to connect with one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I might, this is Gary again. Take a minute of your platform and your time to invite anyone that would be interested in collaborating and working together to explore, you know, that startup that we talked about yesterday, a brand new digital credit union to serve all the HBCUs that aren't served by an existing credit union. I think this is something that we can do fast and that we can do right. Yeah, but it's got to be, you know, passionate, committed brothers, and that's what we have on this call today. So if anyone's interested, give me a holler. Thank you.
Nice.
Great.
May I, before we close, I've kind of been quiet all week long because I like to listen, but this has been a fabulous week, and it just continues to get better over the years. I've been involved, as Adrian and Larry, and I've been involved with AACUC for probably since 2007. And this organization is like a family. It's just one of the best organizations somebody could be a member of. And there's two things that occur to me when I'm listening to this particular piece about collaboration. Number one, we're grown men we're afraid to show our weaknesses. If we need help, I've learned, and I'm older than anybody on this screen, I think, except for Larry Sewell. But I had to say that, Larry. I've learned over the years that the best 4 words you can say to anybody under any condition is, I need your help. And they're also the most flattering words that somebody can hear. So if I went to Wesley, if I called you up next week and said, Wesley, I need your help. Enjoyed our conference time together last week, but I think I need your help. Wouldn't you be honored or thrilled that I would ask you? Or I would. If you called me, I'd be thrilled to death. I was like, ooh, wow. I mean, you can't turn anybody down when you ask them for help. Other thing, and this is the last thing, I think it's good, particularly, and I hate the phrase, these unprecedented times. It's worn out. I spent the first part of the summer real ill, and it's worn me out. So, but in these times, it's really, really important to reach out to people who are sitting at home. We're all sitting at home. We don't get to have the interactions we have normally. We don't hop up and down the hall and meet up at a water cooler or whatever. Pick up the phone and call somebody, whether they're younger or older or the same age, male, female, senior management, little management, entry level, the simplest person on the face of this earth. Just call them up and just say, how you doing? How you doing? And don't answer the question for them. Just say, how you doing? Now, it might be the longest 25 seconds in your life, but let them answer the question, how you doing? So I need your help, and how you doing? And I appreciate you folks contributing what I get out of these conferences year in and year out. It just is absolutely a marvelous journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. I think on that note, we're definitely coming up on our hard stop. So Ed, thank you for that. This by far was the best night we had in terms of engagement. I think just about everyone on the call was able to say something. We started with reflection. We went to appreciation. Yesterday, we talked through meditation. Tonight was about collaboration. Each day we're growing. Each day, hopefully you're taking something with you into tomorrow. Speaking of which, tomorrow is going to be an awesome end off. I've got a really, really good friend of mine. He's a local pastor. He's going to give us an inspirational word. As Andrew mentioned, I realize everybody may not be into that. That may not be your thing. However, regardless of your background or what you believe, I think we all, as men, can take something away from an inspirational message. And that's what this brother is going to give us tomorrow. I'm excited about it. So be back tomorrow. It's our last day together. We're going to hear a wonderful inspirational message, and it's going to cap off our week. Guys, I appreciate your time. Andrew, thank you. You know, we'll be in conversation.
Can I just do a quick shameless plug?
Yeah, shameless plug. Go ahead.
Shameless plug for anybody who has anyone in college, whether they're your kids, grandkids, you know, nephews, nieces, if they need some guidance with planning out their college career, feel free to reach out to me. I love working with the kids to give them a strategic method of choosing their career path, which college to go to, and things of that nature.
Cool. And if you don't know, you can contact me, guys. I don't know that everyone has Andrew's information, but contact me or Renee, and we can get you plugged in with Andrew. Gentlemen, have a great night. It's been real. Until tomorrow.